Hey, who turn is it to announce the show at the beginning? I think it's D'Amica's. D'Amica.
Who the host? What they say right there?
You've been 12 years. You've been announcing me to the public.
What
you
does
don't
that
want to
say?
announce me to the
It
public
says
12 years later.
Host.
Who's
the name?
Okay, I know.
What name did it say?
12 years you've been announcing me to the public,
Yes.
to the masses.
Yes.
Yes, you have now.
Yes,
Come
we
on.
have. Yes.
Now you're going to act
But
stank.
you know, here's the thing though. On radio, we're way more relaxed.
Yeah. I'm going to see what you're talking about
I'm
real
much
quick.
more reserved.
I'm going to see what you're talking about real quick. Because,
We
hey,
know-
everybody, welcome to this damn podcast. I got to do it myself. I'm going to do it myself now. I walk with him and I talk with him, and he tells me I am his own. I don't know the rest of that song. My mama used to sing that as a solo. Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church, 3113, South Prairie, Chicago, Illinois, 60616. Hey, D'Amica Page.
What's up, Tom?
It's a hell of a lot going on in this country. Hey, D'Amica Page, good to see you.
I feel like I'm hunched over.
You are hunched over.
This mic is not for tall people.
Hey, let me just say something.
short people.
LaShawn.
What's going on, man?
Man, we out here in these streets. The Don Miller Show, y'all thought y'all had us, but you didn't. We done scratched our pennies together and came over here, Phil. Hey, man, let me tell you something. You can mute us, but we gon' keep talking. You can mute us, but we gon' keep talking. Man, they're like, all right, we got rid of those Negroes. Had to get rid of those Negroes. They weren't writing the narrative Negroes. We need narrative Negroes, not those opponents of the walk. Well, Don Miller and my black ass is right back. Thank you so much, everybody. Shout out to Phil, the podcast doctor. Appreciate you, bro, man. Love you, homie.
But Phil, I think if I'm not slouching, I'm not all in
They
the
don't
shot.
make mics for 6'3" women.
I will.
They make higher
I got a
chairs
slut.
for
I'll
6'3"
adjust you.
women. Put the microphone over here, Phil. Come here, get it right.
Get comfortable.
Again, we got so much to get to. It was a tumultuous week in American politics, of course. And I said a long time ago on the Don Miller Show at the radio broadcast platform, I said it a few months ago. Sean, you recall it very well. D'Amica, of course, you've heard me say it for many years. The fact is, we are in a heightened political season. I'll tell you two things we get ready to see. We get ready to see the race card, and we got to see black people shot by the police. How the hell does it happen all the time? We're going to see the race card, and we're going to see black people shot by the police every time.
Happen.
Every time there's a heightened election season, you're going to see the race card, and you're going to see a black person shot by the police. I'm telling you right now. Tell me if I'm wrong. Because I don't want nobody to be like, Don Miller's over there stirring the pot. Yeah, I've been stirring the pot a long ass time since my daddy left my mom when I was 5. I still don't know what that bastard is. But again, that's the story I ain't going to deal with. I deal with that story with my counselor, Counselor Jesus.
Clearly, it's not working.
Okay, I know. Hey, everybody,
He's
again.
still working on them.
So I really want to quickly, we got a lot to get to, and I don't believe it's important as, it's important, but I don't believe it as important to engage in what I view, don't take this the wrong way, but you know they're going to take it and run down the street with it, as oftentimes conversations pushed to the public, pushed to the front, that is a laid out conversation from the onset. Let me just say this, okay? There was a young lady murdered. I'm saying that word. She was murdered. We saw her murdered. She was murdered by a raggedy ass piece of shit cop, Sean Grayson, who shouldn't have been the police. Now, can I start at the beginning of this? I'm going to get to this because I want to turn the corner. The cop in Illinois who murdered this young lady, Sonia Massey, shouldn't have been the police. He worked for 6 agencies.
In 4 years.
In 4 years. Now, time out,
Like,
time
where
out.
did they do that?
Wait. I'll tell you where they do that at. He know where they do that at. He worked for 6 agencies
4 years.
in 4 years. Not only did he work for 6 agencies in 4 years, he had two DUIs. So he had DUI 15, DUI 16.
2 DUIs.
And one of the DUIs was in the county in which he was the police. Let me tell you something. I want everybody to understand this and hear me clearly, black folk, when you think we got a plight in our neighborhoods. These white folk downstate Illinois knew that this dude was a horrible piece of shit. But he kept getting jobs in Sangamon County and around Sangamon County. That's Springfield and a bunch of little podunk towns, right? This dude worked everywhere he wanted to work. They didn't ask no questions. They just let him work. One point, he was the police in 2 cities. Let me just say something. Let's put this on them as well.
Absolutely.
Okay? This dude should have never had a badge and a gun. But because of the way the mindset is of those who engage on a bigger conversation, they think that would have never happened in a major city. If you think your police bad, this dude's bad. If you go look at his record, somebody send me this dude. He shouldn't have been a security guard at the Wawa. No, Walmart, they do background. Wawa, you want to work here? Come on in. Okay?
Just hang out outside.
This dude was horrible. And he murdered this lady.
Absolutely.
He murdered her. I know there's probably a few cop buddies of mine who will say, Donwell, did he really murder? Yeah, he shouldn't have been the police.
She was rushing me with the boiling water.
Okay, listen to me. First of all,
Really?
I want to hit that too. She wasn't well.
Yes, it was
Because boiling water could really hurt somebody.
It was clear to me.
You can't play like that. And it's amazing how black people, here we come. What you want us to do, Uncle Ben Crump, who richer than all you Negroes? Let me repeat that slowly. Uncle Ben Crump, who richer than all y'all? Ben Crump show up to get a check. You gonna tell me Ben Crump's the Thurgood Marshall of our time? Thurgood Marshall went to court. Thurgood Marshall was a litigator. He went to trial. When was the last Ben Crump trial? I'll wait. No. He ain't never done now, right? The fact is, this cop should spend the rest of his life behind bars. But somebody should pay this young lady's family a whole bunch of money because he should not have been the police. See, this is how we get to the end, and we can get this. And then Joe Biden, I don't know what that was. It's not Joe. Joe was asleep. Somebody came out with a statement from the White House. That was not Joe. Joe ain't wrote a statement in a minute. But the point I make is this. It's a horrible tragedy. But can we start at the beginning? He shouldn't have been the police. And I can go down the list. The dude in Minnesota put his knee on George. Shouldn't have been the police.
Long history.
Not saying George was a hero, but he shouldn't have been the police just based on his history. We need a system in America to track police officers with credentials. So when you screw up over here, you can't run your ass over there. The problem is the unions. The unions and the coverage they give. Go ahead. I just want to get that off my chest.
You said the problem is the union.
Lot
The
of
unions protect them.
Yeah, you can't. A lot of these dudes can't. Yeah,
Because in the real world, you can't just do that.
I seen
They
that
doing
video.
background checks. They calling your references.
Yeah, and
The
wherever
people
he
in
was
the real
working, ain't
world.
nobody called his reference.
Nobody.
Because the cops who arrested this drunk ass twice should have been like, he's a drunk. They didn't even tell on him. He was arrested in the county. He was the police. Excuse me, Chief. Can I talk to you for a minute in your office? He's a drunk. No. So let's be clear. It's a bad shoot, but he shouldn't have been the police. Go ahead.
But I also believe that the blue wall need to start telling on people that's going to create a rift in that wall, because there's already a heightened scrutiny on the police department as it is. Anytime you see a bad apple in your bunch, you're supposed to be the first one. Bro, you got to go.
I want to shout out
you bring it too much heat.
I want to shout out my boys, my sheriff, Rick Staley, Flagler County, Florida. My buddy, Kevin Berry, one of my oldest friends. He's a terrorist expert and the former sheriff of Orange County, Florida. Shout out my buddy, John Mina and Dennis Lehman, Seminole County, and all of these guys who do it the right way. Whoever, all these chiefs and all these human resources people. Hey, man, why ain't seen nobody say nothing to us feel on the damn thing? All these chiefs and all these HR people and every one of these little podunk-ass towns need to be laid off.
We got a phone call, but I think we're experiencing some frame drops here.
I know what we think. I'm talking about something they don't like what I'm talking about.
Are you going to play the video? You're going to stay away from
we
that?
got somebody.
No, you want to play the video, man. The video's so disturbing, man.
I seen the video one time.
Yes.
And so you know what stood out to me in the video?
Yeah.
That she seen the devil. She seen the devil. And what did she say?
Rebuke.
She seen it. Like she looked over there and she seen it.
And he shot
There
her.
was something was in his eyes that she knew right away to say that.
Yeah, but his colleagues saw it too.
No, but she
Whoever
probably
the
never
other
even
cop,
met this man in her
whoever
life.
the other police officer is,
They
I don't
saw
know
it
his
too.
name, but he didn't want to work with that cat.
They saw it too.
Yeah, but y'all got to say something. Hey, Pam, how you doing from beautiful Milton, Florida?
We got a phone call.
Take the phone real quick to bring this person on real quick.
Hey, caller, you on the Don Miller Show?
Hey, fellas, this is Pap. How you been?
Hey, Pap from Florilla, Alabama, the home of absolute. Yeah, Pap. Okay, go ahead.
They're the one and only. Hey, well, how y'all guys doing?
We just sitting around
John,
waiting for you to call us.
Blessed, man.
Blessed and highly
well, I
favored.
tell you what, man. Hey, my expertise at holding on to conversation kind of gets kind of rough every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing all right up here. It's raining. It's getting ready to have what they call a cow peeing on a flat rock. Getting ready to get it, buddy. I mean, it's been doing all right. I'm still working a little bit. I'm getting ready to retire.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm short timer now, and they know it.
Well, Pap, listen. When I come up there, you're gonna take me fishing, right?
Well, I try to now. I'll tell you right now, I don't own no boat, so we're gonna have me walking the riverbank and fighting bars and skaters and whatever else gets in the way. Skaters.
You know what the barbecue is up there?
Yes.
Okay,
I know where there's a few real good barbecues.
Okay,
yes,
real
sir.
good. Take us to get some barbecue. We'll be all right with that.
Yeah. Hey, how about that lady they got for the vice presidential nominee?
Hey,
somebody told me that.
Yeah, go ahead.
She was well, they said she was. Let's see.
No, you ain't gonna say that yet. Pap, we talking about something else real quick. Stay with us. You can call us back later, but we can ready to finish what we're talking about. Thanks so much, Pap.
Yeah, call us right back, Pap.
Okay, no problem,
let me just say
no
something.
problem.
I want to finish this conversation because I want to hear the sensationalist activists who run to the microphone and the cameras when there's police shootings. And this was a bad shoot. They're probably going to be some people who call themselves gun experts and people who train that say this wasn't a bad shoot. I don't know what the situation is in Sangamon County, but I can tell you that could have been handled better. This guy should be arrested and charged.
And he has been.
So I
And
get
I'm
it. I'm telling you, he's going to stay on the news because somehow Crump got down to Springfield, Illinois, and rode over the side over there to where it happened at. So when Crump's there, that means all the Crump's people that he blessed all across the country are going to keep talking about
Milk
it.
dud head.
Okay, what'd he say?
Milk dud head.
But I can tell you this. I think if we're going to address this and talk about it for real, we should ask the question of Pawnee County and Kincaid, Pawnee Police Department, Kincaid Police Department, Sangamon County Sheriff's Department, Auburn, Illinois Police Department, and that little place, Logan, over there. Why would y'all hire this dude? Because you know his background. 15, in August of 15, he was arrested for DUI. Mm-hmm. July of 16, another DUI. Mm-hmm. Why is he the police?
But he's good at spotting DUIs.
I'll tell you why he's the police. Because the same rules that apply to real police agencies don't apply to these small towns. Mm-hmm. That is why I will run out of gas before I get off 75.
Or stop at Mascot.
Mascotti, okay? I'm telling you what I know, right? So please listen. The same rules that apply with these giant, bigger agencies don't apply. He was a good dude. He knew somebody. Somebody knew he had a problem. You can't allow people like this to carry a badge and a gun in your agency because the liability 100%, he gone. We ain't got to worry about him. But the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department, Springfield, Illinois, need to really get hit over the head for this one.
I agree.
Because there's no way that they didn't know from Kincaid, from Verdon County, from Auburn County, they knew this was a bad guy and he should not have been representing them in law enforcement.
I agree.
My condolences to the family of that beautiful young lady, but I can tell you, we can let them drive this to us to start marching and jumping up and down and hollering. They're going to be taken care of. I promise you they're going to be taken care of, but do not allow what we've seen more than once. This was blatant. So to me, this was probably one of the most blatant. This was more blatant than the George Fort to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right? There's a little more blatant to that, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you perceive this woman as a threat that you say you perceived her as the way I watched that video.
She was the one that called the police.
Again, there was something going on there. There was something going on, and we need to figure out how we're going to deal with those situations with these agencies because that's a crisis too. Mental illness and the police in law enforcement and the engagement of law enforcement is a crisis in this country, guys. So, again, condolences to the family of this beautiful young lady, Sonia Massey, but we cannot allow the language of the officer used prior to the shooting let you know who he was. Ain't no question. We all agree with that. But, again, he shouldn't have been the police. Okay, Cedric Hook says Ben Crump gets his check and immediately leaves. Cedric, you left immediately out. Okay, Cedric say he leaves. He left immediately out, right?
Out of there.
Yeah, he gone. But again,
Pass me the blunt. Let's go.
Again, it's really we are in a national crisis, and this is a sad story. It's a horrible story. The cop killed this young lady. It was a kill. Yes, it was. It wasn't a mistake. It was a kill. He shouldn't have been the police. I hope they tested him for.
They're so nonchalant about it.
But they
afterwards,
waited
too.
2 weeks they waited 2 weeks to fire this ass crack, right?
Well, think about it. If somebody takes a life, are you going to be that nonchalant about it?
Again, she looked at him and saw what she thought she saw. You follow me, D'Amica?
Not what she thought she saw.
She's seen it.
She saw.
D'Amica.
Yeah, she was very clear about what she saw.
Now, let me just say this to D'Amica Page, in all fairness. Are you gonna stop calling me Satan? D'Amica called me Satan sometimes, but you just Satan.
You know what? You know what? Peter walked with Jesus every day.
Here we go.
And he had to rebuke Peter.
Here we go.
He had to rebuke Satan.
Here we go. Hey, Phil, put that on my shirt. Please read my shirt. There's a difference between people in your circle and those in your corner. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. All right, we gonna turn the corner on that again. Our condolences. Peter did walk with Jesus, sure did.
Yeah.
We gonna turn the corner again. Our condolences to the family of Sonia Massey. That was a true tragedy, but
Absolutely.
that cop shouldn't have been the police. He's gone now. Let's quickly lock his ass up. But we can't continue to allow this.
He just put a resume. I just heard he put a resume in for the county next night.
That's horrible. Baby, can I tell you something? Ben Crump had to win, he bite of wood, okay? Yeah. Hey, somebody corrected my grammar last week on the show because they heard me say government, and they went right to government. Yeah, I code switch oftentimes, okay? Hey, but don't let my dialect reflect my intellect. Kiss my ass. Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome back to the Don Miller Show, for real. You gonna come out? I said government. My mama said government. Okay, bunch of people said government. Now, if you getting ready to punch me because I said government, right? That's because you didn't know what I was talking about. Everybody in this room know what government is. Raise your hand if you know what the government is. Walmart. Walmart. I've been calling Walmart the government for years. Okay, if you can cash your check and send money and buy something and leave, and everybody in there look like they ain't supposed to be there. That's the government. You can go to Walmart, cash your check, and send some money. And buy something that you know should be priced more.
And get your tires changed while you're in there.
Yeah, that's the government. Thanks so much, everybody. Again, the Don Miller Show, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Don Miller Show, streaming live on Facebook and, of course, right over there on the YouTube channel. We're just glad to be back with microphones in front of us. We've been doing this for a very long time. Woo woo. Thank you so much, Michael Wayne Deaton, man. We appreciate you, homie. Shout out to Phil, the podcast doctor, with the equipment that works all the time.
I literally was freaking out.
Why?
I was trying to figure out what was going on.
What was going on? Did you figure it out?
You haven't seen any packet loss, have you? You haven't seen any frames
No, Phil,
dropping?
you know what it was, Phil?
Yeah.
You know what it was, Phil?
What?
The devil.
The government.
There you go.
The government and the devil.
No.
But the devil might be the government. Speaking of that,
You can say that again.
you fixed it?
I'm in the process of it. I had to disconnect my laptop. but I have majority of those videos on my hard drive already. So
Oh,
we're
you
good.
do?
We're good.
But you know, Phil, do what I do, man. I open up another window for Pornhub.
I know. This is riddled.
I got a little private they sent me a little private window. Open this, press this button right here, go around there. Yeah, because the little granddaughter be like, Papa, can I play with your computer? Oh, no, you can't. You can't touch his phone or his computer.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, everybody. I'm kidding, for real. Please stop.
And you gotta make sure you turn it down at first, because the first commercial that comes on, if you got it loud, it's like, are you jerking off alone? Like, God, who's watching?
Hey, listen, okay, what's the motto of the show forever? What's been the motto of the show? Listen, laugh, and learn. We thank you so much, everybody. I want to turn the corner and really, somebody said, Spencer Long, God, we miss your crazy self. Yeah, Spencer, I'm touched. I ain't gonna act like I ain't touched. But Tamika Page's walk with Jesus has kept me.
Oh, wow, really?
She's kept me in a.
No, it
she's kept
ain't.
me,
No, no.
Oh, you okay? Really?
That's not my job.
How many times?
It is not my job to keep you anywhere.
It's not your job.
That's not my job.
As a Christian.
No, that's not my job.
What is your job as a Christian?
Even as a Christian, that's not
your
my
job as a Christian.
Listen,
is to do what?
Listen,
cover. Cover. I need coverage, man. Come on, man. I need coverage, man. Now you don't want to cover.
No, you're supposed to get your coverage from Jesus. I don't
the
take
people who
nobody's
walk with
responsibilities.
Jesus, the people who walk and talk with him.
All I can do is intercede for you, bro. That's all I can do.
You did that before too. You interceded one time. That didn't go very well. But again, thank you so much, everybody. Okay, so guess what happened last weekend? Listen to this. This is amazing. I love this country. I always been telling people a long time, I'm from the state of Mississippi. Then I went to Chicago, but I'm American first, right? And I love this country, guys. Let me tell you why I love this country. Where else? I'm going to slow down because I don't want nobody to say they didn't hear what I said. Hey, Katie, let me just say this. I want to tell y'all this, right? Where else in this country can you go from being a punchline to a presidential candidate? Oh, my goodness. Man, Kamala Harris was a punchline for 4 years. Tell me if I'm wrong. Was she a punchline for 4 years? Huh? She went from being a meme to the madam, right? How the hell can Kamala Harris, and you Negroes, you blacks, you coloreds, you coloreds. Let me tell you something about black people, man. What y'all doing? I mean, what's wrong?
I don't know.
Look, I just wish, and I ain't never not wanted to be black because I really dig being black. But sometimes it ain't as funny as it is other times. You know what I mean? If all your friends are black, it's fun as hell. But if you got white friends, it ain't as fun. You know what I mean? If you're out trying to get this money, it ain't as fun. You know what I mean? If you chilling in the community with the rest of the blacks or at the family reunion with the rest of the blacks, it's fun being black. But if you go somewhere and a white person feel very comfortable with you stopping you in the aisle number 6 at Publix saying, can you explain to me why black people are excited about this lady? Damn, ma'am, I'm trying to get me some spam to go to the house. Huh? The fact is, she went from a punchline to a presidential candidate. Even you black people on that shade room, what the other little bit, all the black people congregate, y'all was on there killing this lady. She's terrible. She's dumb. Now y'all running up behind her. We are marching.
You got to check who's getting a check.
Huh?
You got to check who's getting a check.
I just told Tamika Page that, right? I told Tamika Page the other day. Right? It is a bunch of PCAs, paper chasing activists. They chasing that paper. And think about that. That little homosexual dude, what's his name?
Which one?
Well, the ascot, I don't know if he's homosexual. I just called him one because he act like
Martin.
Yeah, you act like a homosexual. I figure you act like a homosexual. It's highly likely you're a homosexual, right?
And that's okay, Phil.
Shout out to my homosexual friend who's watching, man. Love you, Randy.
You're so terrible.
Well, dude, come on, right? There he is right there. I love you, Randy. Man, I love that dude. That is my dude, right? I was supposed to go and see him today, but he got wet in the rain, and unlike us, he went on to the house. Tell me I was riding my bike, and I got wet in the rain. Your ass went straight to the house and got the big-ass beach towel and dried off, and now he's in the house for the rest of the night.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Shout out to Randy, man. I love you, bro.
Smart man.
Randy is a friend of the show. He's been on the show bunch of times. But let me just say this, right? So, what's the guy's name again? I just mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him. Anyway,
yes.
He was blatant and loud
Roland
and
Martin.
screaming at the people that Joe Biden wasn't going to leave. And everybody was like, damn, he's very aggressive about this, right? Then Joe Biden left. Then he came back like, yeah, go Joe. Like, what are y'all doing? What are you guys doing? The history of Miss Harris, Vice President Harris, because I ain't finna say her name the way my Indian friends say it's pronounced. Because I talked to one of my Indian friends, and it ain't pronounced the way she pronounced it. She done changed her name. Her real name is the way the Indian people pronounce it, right?
Yes, that's not Harris. That's her married
No,
name,
no,
right?
her first name. She say her name. What she call herself? Kamala?
Kamala?
No, they don't know.
It's
I don't know.
Kamala, right?
I thought
It's
it was
Kamala.
Kamala.
Ah, yes,
I thought
you
it was
come on,
Kamala.
man. Anyway, you know how it is, and we trying to. She said the other day, I don't know. I sent this to Phil. She talking about she cooked greens and she washed them in the bathtub. You're not black. No black person. No, my Spanish friends. Let me ask you a question.
Wow, she trying to be down like that because I know she's trying to use speech now, like that she ain't never used before. She got some people behind
Phil.
her right now
Yeah.
trying to
Your
get her to
mama
be
ever
down.
wash her greens in the bathtub?
Hell no.
Is it Kamala Devi?
Okay, thank you. Right. The point I make is this. It is amazing if you understand. See, we continue to allow history to be missed. Let's take a real hardcore turn on this. I am amazed because we covered this lady's run back in 19, and she left the campaign before Super Tuesday. She left in December of 19, and she was not voted. Okay, so she couldn't make it, and she left, right? And what's amazing is,
Drop that.
and what's amazing, let's just be clear, what's amazing about this? What's amazing about this, the Californians didn't love her. You follow me? Mm-hmm. The Californians didn't love her. The Californians didn't love her at all. And how do you get to that point? Oops. We just ragged it here. How do you get to that point when the people in your state don't even love you? And then the black people were punching her, D'Amica, for 4 years. Mm. Let me just say this, and I know I probably shouldn't because I am African-American. My mama was a single mama from Mississippi. I don't know my daddy, and I got all the traits of a Negro from the bottom. My sister was murdered as a crackhead whore behind my mama's house. Let's start off, because I think sometimes most of these people who own these microphones don't know these people at the real. My sister, Sherry, was murdered behind the house. She was a prostitute who was on crack cocaine. Her son was murdered on the same block, 63rd King Drive in Chicago, O Block, right? You hear the O Block, that's where I come from. I've watched this level of devastation. And then I watched the Biden crime bills come into play. And I watched 800,000+ people go to prison, oftentimes not for the distribution or sale of crack cocaine, for the use of crack cocaine, thus creating the prison industrial complex. And then I watched this lady from California who was in a relationship with a 61-year-old married black man by the name of Willie Brown when she was 29. And I watched Willie Brown put her on. I watched him make phone calls and get her jobs and buy her car and put her on. And then I watched her, you can go read this, become the prosecutor in San Francisco and then take an ugly shot at her sugar daddy that was totally uncalled for. Mm. My concern is if you don't know your history, the moving forward ain't even a conversation you should be having. She incarcerated black men at a record greater than any of the previous governors in the state of California. That's on record. Let's just, I get it, right?
You mean prosecutors?
Yeah. Locked them up as the attorney general. You go read some of the articles when she became the prosecutor in San Francisco, when she became the attorney general in California. Go and read some of the things she said. And it's amazing. I'm not making this up or hating on this black woman because she's not black. Because she ain't black. Now, she's a woman, and I ain't trying to punch a woman, but she ain't black. She needs to stop claiming black. But this is how desperate black people are to have somebody. Okay? She's one of us. We finally got one, no matter what their policy is.
She's a woman and she's black. Vote for her.
No matter what their policy is. I saw, and I sent it to Phil, on TV the other day, they had a list of her accomplishments. First black woman, then first, look at this. Put that back up, Phil. How are you the first black woman to serve as VP? First black person to serve as VP? And how are you the first black woman and the first person of Asian this sends to serve as VP. How you all that? How you all of that? Makes sense to me.
You're the first Indian to serve, right?
The point I make is this. This woman, if she was not attached to the regime, would be the laughing stock. Or maybe I'm wrong, and she's this scholar that just ain't get her footing in the last 4 years. Because every time I saw her, I was like, what the hell is she talking about? Go ahead. I know you over there like Don Miller. I can't believe you're doing this and saying these things.
No, it's just really offensive. That's all. It's
offensive?
really offensive because whenever someone talks about her resume, the work that she's done against the black people,
a lot of it too.
The work that she has done that has hurt the people that she is pandering to now. Anytime anyone mentions it, they have to also say, "I'm not trying to take a shot at her because she's a woman," or "I'm not." Why does it have to be qualified with that? It's offensive that your work cannot be scrutinized because you're using your race and your sex as a shield.
Okay.
To me, that's offensive.
Speaking of that, I want you guys to remember, you heard it right on the Don Miller Show on a Thursday, 4 days after she became the lady they say was going to be the nominee.
I think it should be offensive that they picked her for you.
Okay, right.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
well, let's get. We're gonna
people pick for
we
her,
gonna
you know,
get
for
there.
themselves.
Clip 3, Phil. Let me just say this: we need to get ready to hear this over and over and over and over and over again.
The shield.
Racist, sexist. Listen to this.
What would a
The
race
shield.
versus
The shield.
Harris versus Trump look like? And do you think that Harris could actually win this?
Well, first of all, it's going to be ugly. Incredible racism, sexism, and misogyny has been thrown at Harris all along.
She won't be backing down from any of those sexist and racist, disgusting statements that we are anticipating coming from the right.
Be prepared for the racist, sexist, and xenophobic tenor.
He is going to try to attack Senator Kamala Harris with both sexist and racist tropes.
He's reverted back to his racist and sexist tropes.
VP pick Kamala Harris responds to racist and sexist attacks.
Sexist and racist attacks.
Racist and sexist attacks. I wonder what you make of these
racist
and sexist attacks.
They all
described as sexist and racist.
Okay,
hold on.
You know what happens, Don? They all got the same memo.
Phil, you think all of them just happen to have them words on the tip of their tongue?
Of course not.
No, that's a memo. This is where we're going to ride racist and sexist. Everybody said that's what you're going to hear. That's why no matter what happens or how Donald Trump engages with her, it's going to be racist and sexist. And we must prepare for this because there are going to be a lot of people.
But do you think the American public is still that stupid?
Yeah, I do. Hell yeah.
Or do you think there's still? I think there's still a minority that's that stupid.
No, I think I think the majority is.
The majority.
But there's some numbers coming up. It's growing. It's getting better.
I think the majority that you're talking about is older folks.
Mm-hmm.
I think the younger folks get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they see it with social media, with TikTok, with Instagram, and everything that's going on right now. All these, I don't think nobody young watches MSNBC or CNN. They get their news from TikTok. They get their news from Instagram. Nobody I know that younger than me goes home and says, "Oh, I gotta go home and catch the nightly news." It's not gonna happen with young people. It's not. You know who does that? Old people who are still at home in the morning watching Price is Right.
Well, that means me.
No, it's not just you.
But think about this. I want to hear clip 5, Phil, because I want you to hear me on this one. And this something, D'Amica, you hit me with this the other day, man. D'Amica, sometime I be just trying to chill and have a drink, and then you would call me on a random ass, "Hey, what you doing?" And you won't even let me say what I'm doing. She just thought, "Did you think about this?" Listen to clip 5. This is Tulsi Gabbard in the debate in 19 with
And what party is she?
Vice President Harris.
And what party is she?
Oh, she's a Democrat.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place.
Thank you so much, man. Hey, okay.
Yeah.
That's a Democrat.
So is she racist and is she a sexist?
Yeah, she's a racist, sexist Democrat.
So that's why I feel like that's why it's offensive, because anytime anyone scrutinizes her record, they like to use that as a shield to keep people from, making reasonable observations. And you know what's funny about that clip? Because when Kamala responds to her, she doesn't deny any of the things that she said. You know what she said? I did the work. I wasn't around here making speeches. At least I was working. I was working hard.
What was you? What was you?
So I think it's very interesting that you can read her record. She doesn't deny her record, but yet and still black people think that
black people so desperate
that
to
she's
have
for
one,
them.
man.
We have to stop being delusional, you guys.
These black people just want somebody.
I think there's a lot of people who aren't delusional. I think the news and the media puts it out there to make it seem.
I'm gonna start calling you not Lil Sean, Lil Hope. I'm gonna call you Lil Hope because you got more hope than me.
I'm just saying.
Welcome to the Don Miller Show, Lil Hope.
Listen, I'm being real because I'm always out. You know me.
I know you out there in the people, man. When I be asleep, you be out there in the people.
I ask everybody, and my group of friends is everybody. I got black friends, Asian friends, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, whites.
You sure do. Now that's a
I got ghetto white friends and I got country
club
white friends.
You got an older friend. I love that cat, man. I hope he watching, man. Glenn, love you, man.
Yeah, shout out to
that
Glenn.
dude cooked some food, man. One day. I was over to Sean's house. That dude cooked some food. I wanted to hug him, but he's a Vietnam vet. You can't hug a Vietnam vet. My granddad thought you want to run up on me and hug me. I was like, all right, granddad. Oh, I'm sorry. It's inappropriate as hell.
He said, "What's up, man?"
Hey, what's up, Glenn? Appreciate you, man. But again, this lady's record toward black people has been horrible. Listen, man, ain't it amazing how her record is on the same level with Joe Biden's? But these...
Absolutely.
Did she ever do anything for black people, or did they even know who she was before she was vice president?
Oh, the people in California knew, and they all hated her.
Of course.
She didn't do well in California.
They all hated her.
If you go back and look at that,
so you're saying that Rachel Dolezal did more for black people than
there you go with that Rachel Dolezal.
So Rachel
Dolezal was the president.
Who identifies as black.
She was the president.
Did more for real black people than Kamala.
Rachel Dolezal.
Have you seen her OnlyFans?
Yeah, Rachel Dolezal. I'm getting ready to sign up for it.
So she did even more.
Rachel Dolezal, for those who don't know, was a white lady who became a black lady.
In the NAACP.
And took over the NAACP out in Washington State and curled her hair up, made her hair kinky as hell. Hair was kinky in a $2 hole.
Let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this. If in society, if we have to be okay with calling
I'll take Rachel.
girl,
No.
I think it's okay for her to change racist.
I'll take Rachel Dolezal over Vice President Harris.
If somebody could change
genders,
genders,
I'm not taking
she
nobody
can change
that's
races.
delusional.
That's all I'm saying.
Can do that.
Neither one of them. So they neither one of them well. Good point. I'll change my mind about that. Don't put that on Don Miller. But you know what's amazing? When I do I do a show that very few people will be comfortable doing. And one of the greatest aspects of my life, D'Amica, I love you so much. Shout out to Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson family. Shout out to all of these people, especially our friends. We love you, Katie and Patty, all our friends in the Panhandle who saw this black dude on this white-ass radio station and ran and embraced us, right?
Yep.
And my numbers were crazy, and we appreciate you,
and
right?
our people from Germany.
A lot of people, thank you. So I do a little.
Absolutely, John.
I do a show a little different. What did John say? Put that back up, man.
Very well said, D'Amica. Like you said before, look at the policies. Hers are hardcore left and Marxist.
Okay, and you're right. And let me just say this, guys. Let me say this. So I'm a little different on my broadcast. Either you like me or you don't want nothing to do with me. And I said last week, and I've been saying for a long time, no new friends. No new friends. Can't have no new friends. Now, you got to be funny about that. But I also said I may not lose friends over politics, but I'm going to lose some friends over ignorance, right? One of the things that's amazing to me, that they have been punching this lady for 4 years. Black folk them shade rooms and all the media, all them been punching this lady. Y'all didn't even know who she was. Ain't it amazing when you attach yourself to somebody know they all of a sudden they cool again? Like I had a friend, I'll never forget this guy. His name was Pete. Pete was an idiot, right? But he was hanging out with Melvin Robinson. And Melvin Robinson was cool as hell. So that made Pete cool as hell, right? No, he wasn't. Pete was still an idiot, but he just knew Melvin Robinson. Can we go back to that for a moment? Watch this. I watched Van Jones, who I think is closeted. Stay with me. I think he's closeted. I think Van Jones is struggling with his sexuality.
Oh, no.
I believe he is. And I watched Van Jones the other night, clip 2, say something so amazing. They had a call, and they said there were 20,000 black men on this call, and they raised $1 million for Vice President Harris. And I said to myself, as I say all the time, let's say this together, y'all, Self, why would 20,000 black men get on a call and raise money for a woman who, first of all, has never acknowledged her real ethnicity? And it's amazing because one of my best friends, who was a Jewish gentleman, who I love like my brother. He's actually not a friend. He's a brother. He's a doctor. He's a really white Jewish gentleman, went to Howard University. And he went to Howard and got his medical degree and been practicing for 45 years. He's never acted like he was black because he went to Howard. He went to Howard because it was a deal, okay? You know what I'm talking about, right, D'Amica?
Yes.
All right? He went to Howard University Medical School because it was a deal, right? So she goes to Howard and signs up with a sorority, and all of a sudden, she is a black woman. She leaves there and never claimed black again till she needs to do what? Claim black again. And then Van Jones, and I think he's struggling. Mr. Van, I like you, Mr. Van. Some days you're a little more special than others, sir. Van Jones, on clip 2, play clip 2.
Insulting black women, you're going to see something you haven't seen before. Black men are not going to put up with that. I was on a phone call with 20,000 black men. The word protect came up about 1,000 times. Protect this sister. Protect this sister. We're going to protect her. Protect her. You're about to see something you haven't seen before. Stop. People,
and while the black guys are protecting the sister, what is her white husband going to do? Watch.
Let me ask you this.
Watch. Ain't it his job?
He was on a call with 20,000 people.
Listen to me.
That's a hell of a Zoom.
Listen to me. Ain't it the white husband's job to protect his wife? Stay with me.
Yep.
I know. They be like, Don Miller's making this black and white. No, I'm making this common sense. The first job of a husband is to not wait for 20,000 black men to come and save your wife. The first job of a husband is to protect and cover your home. So for this dude, Van Jones, who go home to a white lady every night. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Hit that bell again, please. Yes, he does.
I'm getting off here, sir.
So all of a sudden, right, they're saying that the black men, the cavalry, is coming to protect the alleged black woman. Stay with me. The cavalry is coming to protect the black woman who's never protected the black man. Oh, what kind of bullshit is this? So the cavalry, D'Amica, is coming to protect Kamala Harris, whose history in California as a prosecutor and as attorney general.
That's what's offensive about. That's
Jesus, boy. Van Jones, come on out, man.
He got to stick to the script.
So while all of those, you always see things that I don't necessarily pay attention to. But what bothers me about what he said is he's more concerned about protecting her, right?
Yeah.
But he's not concerned about protecting the people.
No, they don't care about y'all.
From the policies that hurt the people.
No, they don't care.
When she did her truancy policy that locked up.
Man, I just dropped my card. Y'all got to keep talking. Go ahead.
When she did that truancy policy, when she released it, she did a press conference on it. And she laughed about locking parents up. So for me, if you are a pundit as it relates to policies, and you're more concerned about the person than the people, that should be concerning to anybody that's listening. Even if it was a Republican pundit. If you're more concerned about the person than the people, that should be a problem.
And you're not the
policies are supposed to help people. You're not
the
supposed to
only
be
one.
laughing because you're locking people up.
Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead. I mean, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you're not the. I'm telling you, there's probably 85 to 90% of the United States that agree with you, but that 5%, 10% that don't are the ones that are getting featured on these.
Hey, what's that big word you just used? Featured.
On these networks.
I would agree
because
with
they
that.
have
Somebody
to
just
drive the agenda.
put that back. Get rid of the milk toast Brian Kill Meat on Florida Man Radio. Play dumb milk. Man, them white people don't want me back up there. I'll be all right.
But I would
I have to say that. That's inappropriate.
I would
Because I
agree
like
with
Brian.
that.
Brian Kilmeade's a good dude. I like him a lot. But I don't want to take his job. I took somebody else's job. And they didn't see
You're
how
not
that
taking his
worked out for
job.
me.
Listen, that's syndication.
I know.
Yeah, he got plenty of other stuff. You know
But
what I mean?
think about this, right?
The Panhandle needs it.
Out of everything we're talking about, what was caught me off guard the most is to hear Van Jones, okay, go on TV and said he was on a phone call with 20,000 black men.
First, I don't believe it was 20,000
whatever,
black
yeah,
men.
yeah.
I just don't believe it.
All I got is three-way calling.
I just don't believe it.
I got three-way calling.
Wait a second. Hold on, Don.
I got
Caller number 16937. What did you have
all
to say?
I got is an open mic, right? Let me just say this, right? For him to go on and say, I was on a phone call with 20,000 black men, and they're waiting for you to disrespect this black woman whose history has been disrespecting black men. Are we that desperate? Are we that desperate? Have we been sucked into some level of abyss? Right?
No.
If she wanted to be protected by a black man, you idiots, she'd have went home to one. Oops. Damn, did Don Miller just say that? Oh, shucks.
Is it me or does she sound drunk all day, every day? Like she brush her teeth with Jack Daniels toothpaste.
Let me just say this. I'm going to say it again because I've never thrown the rock and hid my hand. Because they're going to put me off of something eventually anyway. Huh?
That was actually pretty
good. I know.
Good.
I thought about that shit about 3 weeks. Okay.
In the pocket.
If she wanted 20,000 black men to support her and cover her, she'd have married one at 51. She got married at what, 50, 51?
She needed the white name.
Oh, she didn't even take his name. The point of the matter is, I feel bad. Sometime, if there was this little button that I could press and just go over there for 5 minutes, I would run over to white and be like, what y'all doing over here? I want to see what y'all doing. Because y'all don't do none of the stuff we do. Because y'all don't engage in this ridiculous-ass conversation. Either you with me or you're not. If you with me, raise your hand. If you not, then raise your standard. Because guess what? If I leave here tonight and Phil texts me talking about it and came and told him, don't let me come back, I'm going to get my black ass in that Buick. I'm going to get in Buick. I'm going to either go to see Robbie at the Vineyard Lake Mary or go see Joel at Brothers in Arms, get some of that good-ass barbecue from Brothers in Arms, right? Or go see Sam at Chopsticks. And these are guys I can pick up the phone. Shout out to Crocker. These guys I can pick up the phone 3 o'clock in the morning. Shout out to Real Rap Kane. 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey man, I got an issue, man.
What's up,
I'm on the
Kane?
side of the road. Can you come get me? I'll be right there, buddy. And let me just say something to black folk. And I've been telling y'all this a long time. I've been telling the white people that too. Look at that Brothers in Arms right there. Go Google Brothers in Arms. Go follow them on social media. Man, that dude can cook some food right there.
Yeah,
let me just say this, guys. Can he cook some food?
Yeah.
Let me just say this.
Oh, yeah.
I want everybody to understand why I feel comfortable having some of these conversations. If you ain't got a white friend as a black person, and if you a white person ain't got a black friend that you could sit and have these kind of conversations with, you need to revisit your circumstance. D'Amica, you with me all the time. LaShawn, you with me. Do I talk like this around my white friends? Huh? Do I talk like this? I love talking about race around my white friends. And they understand if you're going to be Don's friend, you got to talk about race. And I talk really bad about some white people too, don't I? But I also uplift some who need Jesus in their personal circumstance. I talk bad about black people, But I also uplift them because a lot of them need Jesus too. I am saying I am never going to be okay supporting someone because of pigmentation. And
Absolutely.
black people have been sucked so deeply in the pigmentation politics. Not even, I told you I was coming in hot. Not even pigmentation policy, but pigmentation politics. Because there's a such thing as pigmentation policy. There's some policies.
Which she is not about.
No.
She's already told you that she is not about doing anything that is specific to black people.
Okay, we got that. I want to play that because that's what I really wanted to spend a few minutes on, guys. I forgot what clip that is, but Phil, you got the clips, man. Phil, I done lost all my clips, man. No, that clip one, Phil. Let me say something, man. I spent some time on this show today because I got 2 other jobs because I'm trying to raise enough money to save enough money to stay on this podcast. I don't want to be out here asking people for money. They'd be like, Don, just like the rest of them. He be begging and shit. But I want to shout out brothers in arms, shout out all my friends. But I want y'all to listen to this clip. Clip one right
They
here.
not like us. Is that how you speak when you're at a debate? Is that how you speak when you're in front of a convention?
Good morning, AIPAC. Good morning. What an honor. No. We must stand with Israel.
Do you support reparations for black people?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. Which is why I support the United States commitment to provide Israel with $38 billion in military assistance over the next decade. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Thank you, Phil. Let me just say something.
Moron.
I support Israel. Okay? Stay with me. I support Israel. Put that back up. Let's see what that said. I support Israel, right? But I also support blacks. And if black people got something today that nobody else got, I would be okay with that. Okay?
You read that? Yeah.
D'Amica, did you see what that was? Put that back up. Put it back up.
Message, man.
Go ahead.
Well, it didn't matter if it's black or white, Republican or Democrat. You say what you feel. That's what we like about you. I think that's what it said.
That's my boy, John, man. I love you, Coach.
What up,
John? John been my friend, man, boy, since I was young, and we were all in the basketball box together. John is still currently coaching. His brother's a friend of mine. But we appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much. But think about this, right? Why can't you support Israel and black people simultaneously? Why? Listen to me. Seriously, listen to what I'm saying. It is amazing when I hear people feel like they got to kind of...
Well, Barack didn't do it either. That was mine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Barack didn't do it either. He was not going to do anything that was specific.
Barack was just a good speaker.
But what I'm saying,
a good reader.
But what I'm saying is, he said the same thing. He wasn't going to do anything that was specific to black policy, black people.
But hold on, listen.
So she's not saying anything different from what he said. However, they still seem to draw black support, even though they specifically tell them they're not doing anything that's going to be for you.
But Barack was elected before he was elected. And you got to listen.
My point is, they say the same thing.
They do say
they're not going to do anything that's going to support black people.
No, and guess what? I get it, but the shame falls upon black people.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's be clear, right?
At this point, something is wrong with you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Now that's a fact, right?
It's not something wrong with them. Something wrong with you.
Absolutely, and I think we should acknowledge that, because the cheers and jeers that I am seeing for Vice President Harris is stunning to me. Shout out to one of my longest friends and long time friend. And I love this dude, man. His sons are my nephews. Shout out to John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, who said, hell no, to the no. Y'all ain't getting nothing from me. I'm out.
Listen.
John Morgan's out. He threw it like, I ain't getting y'all a damn thing.
It's like you got your starting quarterback in there, right? And then all of a sudden, your starting quarterback gets a concussion, which Joe Biden seemed like he had for years, right? And then they're like, well, put the other person in. Well, the other person hasn't really played, and she's, they're not really good, and well, put him in anyways. And now they're all glorifying the backup.
But what's amazing,
Not gonna happen.
I've never seen anybody go from a punchline to a POTUS in one quick sweep. There have been punchline vice presidents before. You remember Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle was a vice president. In his entire career, Dan Quayle was a punchline. And I don't think Dan Quayle was a dumb guy. I think the timing was wrong. But I can tell you, Al Gore was a punchline. He's still a punchline, right? But when you look at this, overnight, Vice President Harris went from a punchline, made fun of by black people. This wasn't the white people wasn't making fun of her, y'all. The black people was killing her, like dragging her down the street and, you know, A and I. A is for artificial, I is for intelligent. And they were just like, where the hell y'all get her from?
You know what I think they think is going to happen with Kamala?
Tell me what's going to happen. I want to know.
You ever watch those videos, high school kids, you know, they got the football team. It's the last game of the season, and they put the one slow kid who's been the water boy in. You know what I'm saying? They put him in on the last play, and even the opponents let him score. That's what they think is going to happen here with Kamala.
But no. What was that movie about the little boy from Notre Dame?
Rudy? Think she's Rudy?
You said she's Rudy, dude. How you said she's Rudy?
I'm saying. No. Like nowadays, they got the videos, you know what I'm saying? Where like social media and people go crazy. Like they let the slow kid in and even the other team
you
is
can't
like,
say slow, man. You can't say slow.
I can't say slow. I can't say retard. Right?
That's what you can't say. Remember, you got in trouble for that already. But you know what's amazing is I am just amazed that how someone can go from a running joke to an immediate scholar, and I don't understand it.
Well, when they got the news and the machine, what's going on with the machine. When they got the machine behind them,
they go from a running joke to an immediate scholar, and I just want to say to the black community, you guys are doing a lot to go against you, okay? And to embrace this woman to the extent that the black community has embraced her, it's very hard for me. It's very hard for D'Amica. It's very hard for Sean.
I don't think though.
It's very hard for many of the people in our community who don't buy into the narrative.
I don't think the people have accepted her like the media says they have.
Let me tell you why.
When I ask my group of people, they think she's an idiot.
Okay. Well, there were 20,000.
That's 100% of everybody I've asked.
There were 20,000 black men on the phone with Van Jones who want to come and protect her, even though she's got Secret Service and a white husband.
Right.
She got Secret Service and a white husband. Okay? Shaquana Johnson over there with 3 kids.
Are you implying a white husband can protect her better than a black husband?
Absolutely.
I heard they're going to
hire. You want me to say that on the radio? A white husband has the ability to protect her better.
Is going to be the guy that kills.
Wait. No, not just a white husband. A rich white husband has the ability to protect her better. Huh? You telling me? You know any white husbands? Because I know a lot of them. I am saying for Van Jones, Van, just come on out, man. I would love to see Van come on out and just be who he is, man. And just, it's okay, man. Probably, in the black community, black men can't come out. Name the most famous black man who came out. I'll wait. Little Richard didn't come out. Little Richard didn't come out. Little Richard didn't come out. Ever.
No.
Little Richard died.
Never came out.
Little Richard said he knew Jesus. Jesus made him walk like that. But the fact of the matter is, to say you're on the phone with 20,000 black men who are waiting to swoop down and protect this lady who has life's work has been anti-black men.
Are they real black men or are they people that identify as black men?
Can I tell you? And you may be right.
You gotta ask, you know what I'm saying? You gotta ask. There might be white little girls with pink hair who identify as black men nowadays.
But again, some of these guys, for him to say he's on the phone with 20,000 black men, and it's just funny because I want to say stuff on this broadcast, guys, that maybe I should not, because D'Amica, as you know, I've been in them back rooms, and I've been in them rooms for real. And I am watching people who know the truth, who know what this is about, buying into it. And it is truly discouraging for me. And that, I think, is why I can't sleep at night right now. Because I've been in those rooms, D'Amica. You've booked those flights for me when you were helping me out when I was doing 20 things. You've seen me go to D.C., right? I've been in those rooms, and I'm watching people who thought she was a joke. I'm watching politicians who thought she was a joke. I'm watching one politician who called her horrible names, who's running up behind her now. And this is why I shouted out John Morgan, because he ain't that guy. He ain't going to play like that. We know. Would you like to see Vice President Harris in a hardcore negotiation with President Xi from China, or Vladimir Putin from Russia, or any of the mullahs from the Middle East? No. No, you're not going to see that. Most of them, D'Amica, are not going to do what?
Talk to her anyway.
Even sit down with her.
Well, kind of like in John Morgan's thing. Like, let me put it in this perspective real quick. John Morgan, everybody knows him. He's an amazing lawyer throughout the whole United States.
No, he ain't an amazing lawyer.
He's got firms everywhere.
He ain't an amazing lawyer. He's a great businessman.
Businessman.
Yeah, he is a great businessman.
Now,
and he's my brother. I love him. I tell anybody that. I love him.
If you're hiring him, if you think you're hiring him,
you're gonna win.
But then he says, "Wait a second. I have this girl. She's an intern. She was amazing." And then his whole firm starts building her up. Are you still going to be okay with her representing you? No!
Right.
Hell to the no!
So that's what you're saying. Like, you go over to a big firm and they say, no, we don't want her.
No! I came here for the name, not the assistant.
The hypocrisy is this move that they've done is coming from the party that's been claiming Trump to be, that he'll be a dictator. It's coming from a party that has claimed Trump is a threat to democracy. Mm-hmm. This is the party that allowed over 14 million people to vote in the primaries.
Yep.
They practically just said to those 14 million, over 14 million, your vote does not count. We're going to pick who we want to pick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
that's the hypocrisy, because it's coming from that party.
They should be pissed about that, period.
That's been talking about Donald Trump is a threat to democracy.
Let me
you
just
know?
Is it him or them?
Let me just say. Let me just say
chose
this.
for you.
But again, so real quick, because we're going to turn the corner. We got a great guest joining us, a guest that I've been looking forward to talking to. Let me just say this.
It's like Aldi. She's like the Aldi. You know what I'm saying? She's like the you know what I'm saying? You got Frosted Flakes. I'm just saying. You got Frosted Flakes. You got the real brands like cereals. You got Frosted Flakes.
You go to Aldi's? I ain't been.
No, a lot of people who watch may not know, but you got big brands of things. You know what I'm saying? She's like the off brand that you get at the dollar store of the imitation. She's, you know.
No, but I hear what you're saying. But the challenging part of this is, Sean, in real life, you're right. Let me just. This is the challenge, and I want you guys to remember. What's today's date? Anybody know?
July 25th.
Watch this, guys.
Oh, rent due soon.
I don't know.
Y'all hooking your boy up.
I don't know if she's going to be the nominee. And this is why we posted what we posted today.
I don't think
as we turn the corner. There was a bunch of money, a couple of $100 million out that Joe Biden has raised. Mm-hmm. That money only could transfer if the vice president of the United States moved toward the nomination. I don't think they were interested in leaving a couple of $100 million on the table.
But they used her for a little bit, get that pocket change. And
I
then change her up.
just believe that the real American people who are watching this, and she's only done, think about this, they picked her Sunday. She's only had 2 real conversations since they picked her. So a whole week go by, the presidential cycle, running for office, you only hear from her twice. And she spoke at the teachers union today, the National Education Association, and it was not a good look.
She's a moron.
He said imitation crab.
Wow. But think about what I'm saying. I'm not going to call her a moron, but there are a lot of smarter people, right? The fact is this. We're talking about a cycle where you got to be in front of the cameras 7 days a week till November. You can't put this lady in front of the camera.
That's why I said that. 7
days a week till November. I don't believe that she's going to make it past the convention. I also, and they're saying, oh, he's coming out any minute now, Barack Obama's endorsement. Barack Obama has been really shrewd about how he endorses and how he engages in this process since he left.
Yeah.
Now, remember, it was a few days before the Democratic Convention in 20, and that cycle, before he endorsed Joe Biden. It was a few days before the convention. My point to people, to America, is this. If Barack Obama was 1,000% in, he'd have been out first. I'm here. Mm-hmm. We have to be careful. I get it. Black people, we have been in a bad place, a bad circumstance for a very long time. But I think we have embraced this bludgeoning to such an extent that it has become our own problem. This woman has never been for black people. Her history, her body of work, which is small, let's be clear, has never been for black people. And all of these people who made memes about her and made her the punchlines of their jokes for the last 4 years, to watch them run up behind her is absolutely shameful. I sit out and used to smoke with a bunch of black men who like to talk about how successful they've become because of education. And I learned something about people who say they're educated. They are the first to get caught up. The fact is, this woman cannot, and I'm telling you, remember I said it right here, I want everybody to remember this. There's getting ready to be the curveball you've never seen before.
I agree.
Sean, there's getting ready to be a curveball you have never seen before in American politics. I just buckled my seatbelt and I pulled my little strap across in the Buick, and I'm just going to ride till I can't ride no more. Check my brakes the other day, because sometimes you got to stop when you don't want to stop.
Yep.
Because if you think that this lady is going to make it to the finish line and be the president of the United States without going to an Ivy League school, whose identity is all over the place, and to watch Van Jones' weird ass go out and talk about 20,000 black men going to defend her, then that's 20,000 black men who you shouldn't want to defend you. Those 20,000 black men should stand down. Because if black men defending her is going to carry her over the line, yet she never defended.
Let me ask you this again.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said he was on the phone with 20,000.
Oh, no, they had a call. They had a gigantic conference call.
On the phone?
No, they had a gigantic conference call.
20,000 people.
No, they did. They did the other night. And my former co-host, Teslin Figueroa, was on that call.
That's a hell of a chat.
No. But it's just that easy. Look, you know how boring and having nothing to do I got to be to get on a call with 20,000 people I don't know? I got to be bored. There's nothing left to do. I am not I guess I'll get on the phone with 20,000 people I don't know. The fact is this. For us to continue to run to the rescue to those who have never run to our rescue, we can start complaining and blame white folk. Because we blame white folk for a lot of stuff.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
If we, listen to me.
Obama said he don't support Kamala.
I'm telling you right now, listen to me, sir. This is what we do. We blame white people for everything. If 20,000 black guys got on a phone call and said they finna back her and support her,
that's probably the only 20,000 period. That's it.
That's all she got. Them 20,000 brothers don't want nothing to do with it.
That's the only 20,000 she got.
Thanks so much, everybody. Again, we get ready to turn the corner. We got a lot to get to, man. Thank you so much. Hey, go follow Podcast Doctor, my guy Phil. Man, Lil Sean, what you been doing, man? We're going to turn the corner. Hey, listen, subscribe and like. And Phil say we need to start asking for money. So we do need some money. I ain't gonna even lie, man.
I got a regular day job.
Well, we finna start asking for money. If you want to give
boy Apex Pools, man,
Apex Pools, man. Tell him you got the phone number. Get a phone number out. You need your pool fixed.
We can't, man. We slammed.
Okay, how the hell you gonna promote something that ain't got no time?
Apex Pools right there. We slammed. Okay. If we get more people, we're gonna charge them more.
Okay. They don't care.
I had to join my buddy's company because he needed help. So, and I needed help too.
But think about this in real life. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We getting better at this. I'm gonna take a part-time job, okay, at Aldi. They hiring at Aldi. I'm gonna be over there. Somebody just sent me a message say they rent the shopping carts at all. You can't even get a shopping cart without paying
25 cents.
Put a little quarter.
I go to Aldi. No,
I haven't been to Aldi in a minute, man.
Really, but again, we got a great guest coming on.
Ever since I lost a quarter.
This lady is amazing. She is my hero, my shero. And I'm telling you right now, D'Amico, remember I first called you about this lady? So I'm watching the news, NBC 5 in Chicago. NBC 5 in Chicago. All of my friends in Chicago. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, 63rd and King Drive, Old Block. My mama lived on Old Block till I made a move. My brother and sister and nephew died on Old Block. Right? Right, D'Amico?
I don't know what block they died.
But you know they died over there, right over there. And this young lady is joining us. She has been the voice of the common person in Chicago. If you know anything about what's happening in Chicago, they have been inundated with migrants. That bitch-ass mayor, what I call him, bitch-ass Brandon Johnson, that's what I call his bitch-ass. He been working for these other people, and he getting ready to be a pawn in the movement against the dumb shit. Joining us right here on the Don Miller Show. She is wonderful. Y'all have seen this lady on Fox News, on all these other big channels. Now she's going to come in here with us. Miss Trust, Carter Trust. Hey, lady, how are you?
What's going on?
Oh, man.
What's up?
Oh, man. Listen, I
Hold on, Don.
Yeah.
So before we start.
Go ahead.
I have to bring her on the phone because it looks like we were having some internet issues.
Yeah, I know we got internet issues because they don't want her on here with us.
All right, so I have her there. She's there. So there you go.
Okay, Miss Trust. So tell us what you started in Chicago and what's happening now. Go ahead.
Well, before I do that, I want to just comment on what you guys were talking about before. I would be remiss if I didn't speak about the stupidity that goes on within the black community. This woman done said she wasn't one of us. She has said that she ain't really got to do anything for us. And I don't know what's happening in other places, but in the city of Chicago, you ought to see these people standing up and rallying behind her. It's crazy. And you have to ask yourself, y'all done lost y'all damn minds. And I'm getting people asking me, you're not going to support Kamala? You're not going to support her? Hell no, I'm not going to support her. I had people call me and ask me, well, girl, I know you done changed your mind. Yeah, no.
Wow.
No. The Democratic Party is still full of shit. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I could cuss on here. So
you can cuss.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
You okay?
But they still full of crap because here's the thing. First of all, y'all going to try to sell this president to us that ain't got half his brain. Then you go and you get somebody else and put them in front of us. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I still believe that this is a ploy. I believe they wanted Kamala. They need that black vote. And I'm going to tell you, prior to them putting her face in front, they had lost it. And again, like I said, we get senile and we go back and do the SOS. Same old stuff.
Same old stuff. Same policies. Different face.
And like I said, you know, and I'm still looking here in Chicago, so how I got involved in this is our mayor, and my sentiment is the same as yours. But I have to say to people who don't know me that I know Brandon Johnson personally. Mm-hmm. I supported Brandon Johnson. I campaigned for Brandon Johnson. And here's the thing here. Because, see, it's one thing to support and to campaign for, but when you go inside your pocketbook and give them your money, that's a horse of another color. Mm-hmm. And when this black man, because he loves to call himself a black man, and when this black man who lives in the same community I live in, a couple of blocks down, decides that he wants to bring a migrant shelter into my park, in my community. Now, mind you, I've been a park advocate for the last 30 years.
Absolutely.
This is how he met me, so he know I'm a park advocate, and he know I don't play. These are things he knows about me. So why he thought that it was going to be something we were going to take laying down is beyond me.
Miss Truss, let me ask you a question again. For those who are listening, we're joined by Miss Truss, who is one of the loudest voices and the greatest voices in the city of Chicago right now. She is standing against dumb shit. When you look at the number of migrants, historically, Chicago has had, like, let's be clear, because I'm from there. Chicago has had a migrant issue for years, but historically, they were in a place called Pilsen. Chicago has the largest concentration of Mexican Americans outside of a border state by far. Right,
that's where the most Mexican Puerto Ricans come from.
And so when you look at how Chicago has become this place, and they're at $300 million in financial assistance to, they're calling them undocumented. I want to call them illegals because that's what they are.
Illegals.
Okay, they're illegals. I'm not that undocumented nonsense. They're illegals. And when you look at the fact that they've committed almost $300 million to the housing, providing shelter, providing capital, and providing a good life for people who aren't even supposed to be in this country. And you got a black guy at the helm who is finding this okay. This is highly offensive. And I just want to shout you out, ma'am, because what you did was bigger than speak truth to power. You went out and registered a whole bunch of black people who never thought they'd ever register as Republicans because of you explained to them why. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, and let me just say this to all of Black America that is listening. We haven't gotten anything from the Democratic Party since the Civil Rights Movement. Okay? So let's be clear about that fact. And so from all of the time up until now, this party has used us. It has used our vote. At the same time, disrespecting and marginalizing us. Like I said, and even myself, who was a staunch Democrat until this situation came up. And what made me really want to change is, you know, I have a relationship. Not only did I have a relationship with Brandon, but I have a relationship with most of the elected officials who represent me. And when this came up, I got on the phone and I called every last one of them and I asked for a meeting. I said, listen, maybe it's something I'm not getting because I'm pissed and I'm going to need you all to sit down and explain it to me. When I tell you my calls went unanswered, nobody had time to talk to me. And I'm like, well, damn. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. So then I start really looking at and analyzing where we have gone over the years supporting this party and where this party has gotten us. We have not gotten a damn thing from the Democratic Party. There's never been a Democratic black agenda. I remember some years ago when Barack Obama was running and Tavis Smiley say, hey, listen, we need to sit down. Our communities are deteriorating. Our people are lacking and going without. We're in the middle of the back of this drug crisis, this war on drugs, all the mass incarceration, all of these things that have affected our communities and our families. We need to come up with a plan. And they laughed his ass right off the air because people didn't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
so
let me pause it right there. I just got a message from someone who says, can you ask her, this is a West Sider. He bougie now. He got a few dollars. He say he don't live there no more. He up in Atlanta. He might be homosexual.
Oh my goodness.
He said, can you ask, I'm going to read this. Can you ask her how popular was Barack Obama before he ran for president in Chicago? Because you always say nobody knew him. Go ahead, Ms. Truss.
Okay, so I knew him. So I would say he was marginally popular.
But Ms. Truss, you agree that most people in Chicago, they ain't know him, correct?
Most people didn't have a clue who he was.
Okay, go ahead.
Most people didn't have a clue who he was. But the fact of the matter is, when I start looking at policies and looking at the things that were being pushed on us, and some of the things that are happening right now within Chicago Public Schools, because not only am I a park advocate, but I'm an education advocate as well. And I'm like, these motherfuckers, these people ain't get a damn thing but use us. And I'm sick of it. And my thing is this. If I let you keep on mistreating me and I don't ever do anything about it,
shame
then that's
on you.
on me.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying to black people, And I'm not saying that Trump is the answer. Please believe me, that ain't what I'm saying.
Right.
But what I am saying is I'll be damned if we allow these Democrats to keep playing in our face. And black folks, they are playing in our face. And here's the thing, and they can do that because you know why? Just like black folks have lined up this last week to get behind Kamala Harris, that's how we do. We line up, we fall in line, and they know we gonna do it. It's what's expected, and that's why they can do the shit they do to us because we still fall in line. And what I'm saying is, ain't no more of that falling in line. We need to read the tea leaves and do like everybody else do and start thinking about ourselves and promoting our own self-interest.
Go ahead.
So because until we begin to do that, we're going to continue to see what we're seeing, and we're going to continue to get what we're getting. Because when they brought those migrants in here in the city of Chicago, and we had 44,000 people homeless before they got here, and you put those people in front of them, giving them substance, giving them housing, and our people were still suffering. What kind of... See, I'm trying not to look here. I'm trying not to go
but Miss Truss, the Puerto Rican has that question for you. Go ahead. Come on. Yeah, you do.
No, because she said she knew the Obamas.
Yeah.
Before all
we
the
all
Obamas.
did. We actually all did.
Okay,
so
all
that
stuff.
we
So
can't.
you know
we ain't gonna buy. No.
A lot of people in the United States have a lot of questions.
No, we ain't gonna buy into that. No, that's nonsense, right? But the point she's making is Chicago.
We're gonna leave it there.
Chicago had one of the greatest homeless crises in America. And they thought it was a good idea, knowing the crisis in America, knowing that there were veterans under bridges who served this country in Chicago, knowing there were veterans sleeping on the street in a city that it ain't nothing to get to 15 below in December. And yet they bring in a whole bunch of illegals. And these aren't the upstanding citizens from Venezuela. These are the people that Venezuela don't want. These aren't the Nicaraguans that were doing well in Nicaragua. These are the Nicaraguans that the Nicaraguans don't want. They send us their garbage. I said it.
They sent us their degenerate.
Yes.
They sent us their degenerate.
Absolutely.
And like we didn't have enough here of our own.
I had a cousin who was a degenerate.
And what does everybody do here when they do a crime here anyways? What do they do? They run to Mexico. Same thing, right? They have to have marshals go get them over there.
But the challenge that we face, and when you look at the city of Chicago, and not just Chicago, let me spend a few minutes on this. I'm so glad
I was going to say, it's every city that they sent them to. And you have to remember, if you think about Chicago, think about New York, think about California.
And who runs all of these cities? This is the setup.
Black men, baby.
Look, think about this. How ironic, or maybe it's just I'm overthinking this. Let me just say this. Maybe I'm overthinking this. But they sent him to New York, and he thought he was good. And then he realized the problem, and he hollered out, "Hey, this is cool, not cool. I don't want them." And then the investigators stormed his house, took his cell phones, right? And then he changed his tune immediately back, right? He was the main one talking about, "Sinners, you're tired and you're lonely and struggling." No, dog. Then the little bitch-ass Brandon Johnson, okay, who is a total ass crack, let's be clear. Then you got the lady in L.A., I don't even know what the hell she think about, but this is what happened. Let me just say something. The greatest weapon, Stephen Biko said this. I'll never forget when I first read what Stephen Biko said. I just went on to sleep that night. I was on Monkey Shoulder and probably reefer. Stephen Biko said that the greatest weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
And we continue to engage hand in hand, kumbaya. You can't let your enemy pick your enemy. What they do that at?
Because listen, a lot of times, and I think this highly, like seeing the young people, old people, and kind of like studying every day. I study people every day. A lot of people, like the news media and that, they want to make you think that a lot of people think that way, and that's what they do. Oh, polls and the polls and the polls and the polls and the polls. Nobody questions the fucking polls. Nobody says, where were the polls taken?
But first of all, I think
at the end of the day, nobody is feeling what the fuck the news is saying.
But let me just say this. I think we're suffering from a divide, and black people are emotional and not informational, right? Black people, and D'Amica, you told me this a long time ago. Go ahead.
I don't think that we're just emotional. I believe that the black community is suffering from Stockholm syndrome.
Ooh.
Stockholm syndrome, baby. That's it.
Talk to me.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That
you
is
can
exactly
take
what
it.
it is.
You can go ahead and take it, Miss Trust.
Man, Miss Trust, everybody want to hear you today. I'm getting messages from let her go, and I just want to thank you again because normally I know how busy you are. I saw you on Fox the other day, and I just want to thank you because it is amazing to see someone who have put the work in. You grew up there. You went to high school there. That's the city you love, as it is the city that I love, right? And to see someone who is not afraid from that area to speak truth to power. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for stepping up. I grew up in the Daley administration, Harold Washington and Bobby Rush, who I think became a coon at the end. And many of those people, he did. He absolutely did. He was my neighbor on 35th and Giles. And it's amazing how these people, when you look at a guy like Bobby Rush, who was a very strong member of the Black Panther Party, and now he is bowing and kowtowing, right? And I asked myself, how does it get to this point? But again, the sins of the father will revisit the son, right? And I believe that if you don't know who you are and you are not willing to put it all on the line, you will fall prey all the time. And it's just to hear you and to listen to you. I remember, D'Amica, when I first called you, I was like, you got to see this lady. I don't know who the hell this lady is, but we got to get her on the show.
And you sent me on a hunt.
I sent her on a hunt to find you. And D'Amica is one of the greatest investigators I've ever known. And she called me back. She's like, I got her. And I was like, we can bring her on right now. And I just want to thank you for real, ma'am, because if people don't, and there was a caller, I'll never forget, a caller from Gainesville, Florida, called the show one time after we had you on, and she was like, well, why is it so important what's happening in Chicago? Because so goes the Midwest.
Because what happens generally in the Midwest generally circulates to around the country.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's so important for people to pay attention to that. But let me just tell you this. I am currently a West Sider, but I grew up right there on the low end.
Where?
On the south side of Chicago.
Where?
I spent most of my life at 49th and St. Lawrence, and my teenage years was filled in the Hilliard homes over on 22nd and Clark. I graduated from Wendell Phillips High School.
Hold on. Hold the hell on. How I don't know you?
You probably do know me.
Oh, okay.
I graduated in 84.
So you went to school with Doc Liberty?
Yes. We graduated together.
All right, okay, I do know you then. You light-skinned, too. I remember you. You was a light-skinned girl.
Wait a minute, look. So light-skinned, long hair. But my name then was kind of Raspberry.
I remember you well. You used to come to my club, the Click.
Yep.
Wow. It was Heroes then. It was Heroes first. Wow. Okay. Wow, ain't this crazy? Oh, my goodness.
Heroes don't matter. That's why you got to be nice to people, because you don't know who you're talking to.
You lived in the second building. Didn't you live in the second building?
Yep, 2031.
And you had a sister?
Yep.
Oh, God. This is crazy. Oh, my. Wow. No. Right. Oh, God. This is crazy right now. Well,
when I saw you pop up on my screen this afternoon, I was like, I know him.
Oh, man. I'm all the way down here in Florida. But again, ma'am, I just want to say thank you so much. First of all, Marcus is in Florida. I just want to let you know. Marcus is down here, too.
Wow.
I just want to let you know it's amazing the work that you're doing in Chicago. There should be so many more people doing the work that you are doing. And I just want to thank you. Your voice is amazing. And a friend of mine from New York, from one of the networks, called me and said, hey, I had this lady on from Chicago, produces one of the major shows. You got to know her. And I was like, I don't think I know her. You're like, you got to know her. And I guess I got to text and be like, hell yeah, I know her.
when your picture popped up on my screen, I was like, I know him.
Yeah, because you know Carl Ghostin. You know Carl, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Damn, this is a small
I used to
man
buy
world.
weed from him.
No, he never sold weed. But he had a hell of a crossover.
Wait a minute,
He had a hell of a
Don't
crossover.
be telling people secrets.
No, but you were friends with Bernard Jackson, them. Yes.
Look, I was friends with everybody. I was very popular. Homecoming queen. I was,
she was homecoming
No,
queen.
yeah.
Scholar. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much again. So let's
you.
talk a little bit about the pushback that you have received from the politicians in Chicago.
Let me tell you something. It's really crazy because I was down in Springfield about a month ago. Senator Don Herman, he's a Senate floor leader in Illinois.
I know him well.
And so I was down there to testify about the elected school board. And, I asked him, I said, how are you supporting this for the city of Chicago? Would you support it for Oak Park where you live? And he looked at me, he was like, I can't believe you said that to me out loud in front of my colleagues. I'm like, why? You shoving this law down our throats in front of your colleagues. Why wouldn't I say anything about it?
And you know he ain't from Oak Park originally, right?
Oh no, he not. But that's where he at now.
I know.
But let me tell you something.
Right.
They hate to see me walk in the room. When I walk in the room, they scared of what I'm gonna say. And my thing is, if you do what you're supposed to do, you ain't got to worry about me saying anything. But I'm going to tell you this. I have always been outspoken. Daley was the mayor. Let me tell you something. That's how people don't like to hear me say this, but I single-handedly got Westinghouse High School rebuilt.
I know the story now.
Because I toe-to-toe with Daley. And my thing was like, see, you done gave the Latinos, they school, you done gave the white folks a couple of schools, and then you gonna get to the west side of Chicago and tell us you ain't got no money. I ain't trying to hear that.
And think about this. When you did that, I didn't know that was you. So this must be your married name?
My married name.
Yeah, I just got a text like, Don, you know her? I remember when you have been vocal for a very long time. And for those who don't remember, Demetri, you know the story. Richard J. Daley and his son were the longest sitting mayors in the city of Chicago, and they ran the city with an iron fist. The father, of course, is the focus of a book called Boss by Mike Royko.
It's a very good book.
And another book, American Pharaoh. Two of the greatest books if you ever want to learn about how the machine in Chicago works, which is why...
don't forget about Dempsey Travis's book.
Dempsey Travis was an African-American developer.
Yes, he has another good one that we need that y'all need to get to.
Absolutely. An African-American developer who were tied in. If you were in Chicago, you were always in. And it's amazing. So now I know... because somebody was like, remember that, Westinghouse was an amazing high school. It was an inner city school that graduated its students, had a wonderful basketball program under Coach Frank Lolino, won several state championships, and a bunch of guys to the NBA.
Nice.
And they were struggling to get a new school because at this time, Chicago was more interested in closing many of the black public schools than rebuilding them.
Right.
Under the administration, Rahm Emanuel, he closed 50 public schools, and now 14, I think, is it 14 that are now migrant shelters?
Wow.
Yep.
See what I mean?
Yep.
So they said we didn't have the money to maintain these public schools.
But we can make them migrant shelters.
Right. So now,
but we got the money for that.
Go ahead, Ms. Truss, please. I love having you
one
on.
of the things that we have to also let's just be clear about one thing too. With the closing of the schools, we have to remember that there was a black flight, and one of the reasons that there was a black flight was because they made the decision to tear down all of the public housing. Now, when they tore that housing down, they did not build new housing for families, nor did they release vouchers for people to get low-income housing.
Right.
So a lot of those people who left those housing projects had to leave the city because we weren't given affordable housing vouchers. And so
listen, hold on right quick. Listen what she's saying. So there were at the time, if you do the numbers, there were probably between 380,000, 420,000 people who lived in public housing, black people.
30,000.
Okay. So there was a stretch, a 12-mile stretch on a street called State Street, starting with where she grew up with the Hilliard homes, then the Ickeys, then the Robert Taylor homes, then Stateway Gardens, the whole stretch. And all of this, that's not even counting what many have heard all over the country called Cabrini Green, right? And all of this went away. Yet these people became oftentimes homeless because the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, did not grant vouchers to all of the displaced people. But many of these properties became high-end Gold Coast communities selling $1 million condos on land that formerly housed poor people. So when you look at this, the displacement of poor people, oftentimes headed by a black, correct?
Yep.
Oftentimes headed by a black. And now you look at, they've come to Chicago, and never before have they ever thought even twice about putting migrants into black communities. The level of bogusness to put thousands of migrants, illegals, in communities have been begging and ringing the bell for help for years. Now you got migrants in those communities. Tell me about how much money are these people getting that are living in many of these communities, Ms. Truss?
Some of these families are receiving up to $12,000 per month.
Or have them buy a house in the rich neighborhood.
And listen, wait a minute, and let me just say this. Listen to me. I want you all to listen to me real good. So there are two things that I want people to pay attention to. Number one, CHA, which is the Chicago Housing Authority, is currently sitting on $45 billion that they did not disburse back to those poor families that were displaced.
Yeah.
Now, currently, you have some of our elected officials down in Washington pushing for these migrants to get Social Security cards. The reason that they're pushing for that is in order for you to benefit from those monies, you have to have a Social Security card. So that's why they're pushing for that. But listen to this BS. You got CTU, who is currently negotiating a contract, and I got to go back and look at it to see today.
That's it. She's talking about the Chicago Teachers Union.
The board on it.
Yeah.
That's the Chicago Teachers Union. Because the Board of Education was supposed to vote on the contract today. But some of the measures that is in that contract, listen to this now. They want migrant students, not just poor students or disadvantaged students, but migrant students only, to receive a stipend of $2,000 a month.
Absolutely.
They want migrant families to be entitled to housing.
Yes.
They want migrant.
This is the new DACA. It's the new DACA. This is the new DACA.
I got a new target to rob. I got a new target to rob.
This is in the contract. It don't have a damn thing to do with educating our kids.
Right.
Nothing to do with that. Right. But this is some of the madness that's in that contract. And we're sitting back. And when you say this to people, then we ain't gonna even get to the part about staff being able to take your kid to have a sex change operation or to have an abortion without your permission.
Yeah.
Without your permission, but I can sign for my kid to take an aspirin. It's like, make this stuff make sense. And so when I say to Black America, and I realize that these problems are happening in other ethnicities, but that really ain't my problem. Black Americans, we have got to start paying attention to what is going on out here.
Okay.
Like I said.
Ms. Truss, we have a question from John, one of our listeners. Go ahead, D'Amica, read that.
It says, can you ask Ms. Carter if the community of Chicago can get together and have a rally with Trump.
Okay, I can speak to that, and then I'll let Ms. Truss speak to that. The Trump people are looking all quietly at doing a rally for blacks in Chicago. But this is the problem with this. The black aldermen and many of the black politicians in Chicago are pushing back on it.
They ain't going.
I'm gonna tell you something
and
real quick.
The issue. Hold on. The issue is, where would we have it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time pulling together rallies just to rally black people and talk to them about what it means to switch parties and why it's important for us to send a message to this Democratic Party saying y'all ain't gonna keep playing with us. I'm having problems that, like, when I tell you they are shutting it down at every turn. I had Dr. Umar Johnson to come in to town back in February, and we had rented a place, paid the money for the facility, actually paid the money for 2 facilities. Mayor called those people and told them, listen, I don't care what you tell her, but shut that shit down.
But let me just say this. So the Trump people would immediately, and I'm going to speak, and I can tell you this is a fact, the Trump people would go to Chicago and definitely go to the black community if welcome. The problem won't be the black community in Chicago welcoming Trump.
It's the politicians.
It's to be the black politicians will block Trump from coming to the black community. And
they
Ms.
could
Truss,
try all day. The people don't agree with the black politicians, whoever the hell the fuck they think they are. But the people, bro, the people are awake these days.
But you got to understand Chicago. This is different.
No, Chicago is one city out of how many other motherfucking cities in this fucking
Chicago's a different breed. Let me just say this.
We got our first hacker.
Okay. What happened? Somebody hacked us.
We got our first hacker.
Okay, that's okay.
Here we go.
Okay, all right, okay, whatever. Thank you. That's from Russia. But let me just say this is very important. I want you to say this. That means we're getting attention. When you look at a city like Chicago, where you probably, for the first time in my lifetime and Ms. Truss's lifetime, are seeing black people gravitate toward the Republican Party.
Republican Party, yep.
They're having they're panicked about this, right? And they're panicked to such an extent that they're going to do whatever they can do to block this. So, Ms. Truss, you started out with an organization called Chicago Red, correct?
Yep.
What did them Negroes do? You know I had to bring that up, right?
Well, so wait, the issue with Chicago Red was not the organization. I had some differences with the leader of Chicago Red.
Right.
You know, when we started Chicago Red, we were supposed to be working together.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it, came to my organization and I and me and I ain't never, and you ain't got to know me to know I don't take orders.
I know where you come from. I know your mama and them. I know your mama and them. That's enough right there.
Look, I don't take orders, and I'm not going to be disrespected. So when you say to me, if we're in an organization, the organization belongs to the members of the organization.
Right.
And that's how I've always felt about it. But when you get into that territorial shit, baby, go ahead. I'm going to let you have all of it.
But let me just say this also. So when you look at the movement that you guys created, and it was a movement, not a moment. And I talked to several of my friends, and they were like, dude, these people, you need to come up and they need to let you come speak to them. And I was like, I came up a couple of times, tried to go to limbs. The line was too long. I had to get security. But when I saw what you all were doing, and I reached out to my friends in the city, and it was a movement, not a moment. And
it is a movement. It is still moving.
I know. I tell people.
Straight full steam ahead.
I tell people, you got to understand the difference between a movement and a moment. Okay? Barack Obama, and I know people don't want to believe this. I was there. Barack Obama was a moment, not a movement.
Word.
Right?
That was a moment.
That was a moment.
Look over here. See what's going on over here.
When you look at what you have done and the level of engagement that you have garnered from black people in a city that historically has been Democrat, like gangster Democrat, like for real Democrat, like, okay, Wilson Frost Democrat, like for real, right?
Oh yeah, you're really going back.
I go all the way back. You can check my references. I'm the first black nightclub manager on a Rush Street restaurant.
You know what? I remember. Like I said, But let me tell you this.
I was there when it wasn't. I'm white friendly. Check the Don Miller show. He's white friendly.
Let me tell you the difference between a movement and a moment.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm not looking to run for political office. I'm not looking for elevation. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not looking to get.
Absolutely. Look like they done took our whole signal. They trying to snatch our signal.
You get a movement. See, a lot of people get involved in things because they're looking to elevate. I'm not looking to go nowhere but home to my good husband to sleep.
Are you still with your good husband?
I've been married 39 years in November, and I am still with my good husband.
Hey, if you refer to as a
still loving each other to death.
If you say good husband, let me tell you what good husband means. 39 years later, he a man. He's a man. He on some man stuff.
Yeah. He's all man.
Let me ask you.
When you have a man who allows his wife to be front and center.
Yes.
And support me every step of the way.
I've been trying to tell Lil Sean that for like a long ass time.
My goodness.
What? I've been telling you that, Lil Sean.
That's when you know you got a man. I got a man, baby.
You know, let me just say this. I just think, and I want to really hit this real quick. I think a man has to be comfortable with a woman leading. And if you're not comfortable with a woman leading, I question you as a man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Sometimes a woman can lead sometimes. She ain't got to lead all the time, but she can lead sometimes. Let me ask you.
I was just going to say, but you got to know when to take that back seat, too.
I've been in the back seat since I married Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson family. In the back seat. I want to get out the back seat.
Look, you got to know when. Look, I know when to take the back seat.
I know. Let me ask you a real question. There's a House bill that just passed July 1st. House bill. And I was thinking about this the other day. I need to get your number. Can I text you, D'Amica? Can I have a number? Because D'Amica don't give me nobody
you
number.
You absolutely can.
Okay. There's a House bill 3882.
38, yep.
It's called.
I know it.
It's called. Listen to this. This is the weirdest shit I ever heard in my life. Right? It's called the Visitor's Driver's License, Temporary Driver's License Legislation in Illinois. Do you know migrants getting driver's license?
Yep.
So let me tell you the kickback to that. Like I say, when I tell you black folks sleep at the wheel, so listen to this. So you know, when they register, when you go to get a driver's license in Illinois, they automatically register you to vote.
Yep.
Right.
Now, what they are saying is, and this is what people are not paying attention to. Now, we have our first elected school board race coming up, right?
Yep. In a long time.
Listen to this. You don't have to be a citizen to vote on the elected school board, but it's going to be on the November ballot.
And it's because if you look at the number of illegal migrant children in the Chicago public school system, the number is staggering. And this is why Chicago public school system is one of the few school systems in America that have listen to this, outbreak of tuberculosis and measles. When the last time they had some tuberculosis? They had.
We haven't seen that.
Huh?
Our COVID numbers are also rising again.
The tuberculosis. We don't call it tuberculosis because my cousin, he had TB. That's what we call it. TB. Okay? All of a sudden, something that had thought to be eradicated for years. How long they been saying TB been eradicated?
As long
50
as
years? Right. And now measles? Anybody know anybody had measles? You know somebody had measles? No. The problem is
trying to bring it out.
These people are coming into this country that's never had a shot for anything.
Right. Our kids are. Our kids have to have vaccines.
Don't put it past these other motherfuckers who created
You gotta
COVID.
stop saying that MF word.
Sorry.
But they
and they sitting in the classroom with your kids.
Right.
Yeah.
What it is.
With them germs, unvaccinated, and you don't know what all stuff they
Right.
You don't know
they
what
got all
else they
kind of
got.
stuff. Right.
You don't know what the people
and you
they
know
are
what,
But you
vaccinated
stop
got.
cussing.
And mistrust is what's really.
I'm saying.
I know you saying, but you saved too.
And mistrust.
Yes, sir.
Right, you are saying.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you say you don't believe that.
You
I
don't.
will-
Anyway,
I will say
I'm gonna
a
get out of
word.
that. Let me say this, mistrust, before.
I'm a work in progress.
I know, me too. I cussed.
Let me say this.
Brad McSwain, my pastor, Southside Chicago,
Let me say
Sunlight Baptist Church.
what the most concerning part of this health piece in illegal immigration is that we just came out of COVID, right? And
Yeah.
where people were forced to get vaccinated or lose their jobs.
Wow.
Yep, but yes, there will.
Dumbasses.
Right? And now,
Talk about it.
But now we're allowing illegal immigrants to come into the country
Unvaccinated.
anything. So the hypocrisy coming from the Democratic Party,
Because they're not
And
coming
guess
in.
what? Your kids still can't start school if they're not vaccinated.
Absolutely.
But think
Your
about
kids
this.
can't go to school if they're not vaccinated.
Unless they're immigrants.
But think about this. This is the amazing part of what you guys are saying. And yo ass cuss too much. I'm gonna put when we leave here, me and Sean gonna go drink. We gonna talk about your cussing. We gonna talk. We gonna talk about them Puerto Rican. You gotta be careful with them Puerto
This
Rican.
ain't radio. This YouTube. We
I
real.
know, but you Puerto Rican. The Puerto Rican cuss too damn much.
I
I just told you to stop. Okay.
Well, when I get mad,
I cuss. I
hey,
know.
when I get mad, you might hear all kind of words.
Hey, Miss Trust. Somebody just text me.
working on it.
Did y'all live on the 12th floor, Miss Trust?
I lived on the 6th floor, 604.
Oh, by the elevator.
Yep.
Oh, somebody just told me that. Oh, man, we got to. And so let me just say this. So you're telling me, this is very important. The city of Chicago, for a kid to go to school, black or white, city of Chicago, you have to have your shots.
That's right.
But an illegal immigrant kid could immediately
Walk right in there.
walk
Nothing.
right into
With
school
measles.
without
And
any
lice.
vaccination.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we telling you.
And the problem with this is,
taco disease.
you sound racist, dog.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like, who knows what the hell they?
the
Who knows what the hell they have?
The
If they're not-
hypocrisy.
You don't know what they got. We don't know what they got.
We actually don't.
Remember now, they was at the border. Some of them swam across that water. We don't know what they coming in there with.
We don't. We actually don't.
You don't know if they got Legionnaires' disease. You don't know.
Go ahead, D'Amico.
And they're not trying to know. There's no
And they ain't
process.
trying to know. Yep.
Exactly. There's no process for them to figure out to know what they have. There's no screen. But you know what's funny, Donna? Because and I'm sure Sean does. But my friends that are coming over here legal.
They have to take shots.
They have to take. Are you kidding me? Not only do they have to take. The amount that is spent to come over here the legal way, the roadblocks that are put in place in order for them to come here the legal way, there's a year waiting, a waiting list of almost a year to do the interview process. If you know people who are trying to come into this country the legal way, it's really offensive.
But what you're saying, D'Amico and Miss Trust, let me just say this. I got a buddy in Chicago named Scott. Shout out Scott. He's watching the show. He's got 8 tenants. He said, I don't even want to rent to an American again. He said, what I rent to the illegals is 3.5 times what I will rent this same 2-bedroom on Sheridan Road to a legal. He said he's getting 3 times the rent.
Which brings us to the next problem that we're going to be facing. Homelessness. Because why would people rent to black families when I can get 3 times the amount?
You get 3 times the amount renting to a migrant family. So so a black family, mom of 2, single mom, out here on the struggle, working. You know, they can work. You get 3 times the amount to a raggedy ass family, migrant mom.
That's right.
You get 3 times. Some of these people again are making up to $12,000.
$12,000 a month.
A month.
Yep.
A given $12,000
In
a month.
addition to the cell phone.
Yes. Oh, they get free cell phones.
In addition to the Section 8
So,
housing,
Phil, let me ask you a question.
allotment.
Phil, are we off the air?
No, we're still on.
No, the video gone, Phil.
We have a ghost in here.
Oh, we got a ghost. Again,
of course we do.
listen.
It's called the government.
Miss Truss, can I tell you, I want to wrap this up real quick. Miss Truss, can I tell you I appreciate you so much, and I thank you for coming on. I know you are way bigger than the Don Miller broadcast, and for you to join us.
You know what? No, I'm not, especially for a homeboy now. And first of all, let's stop with that. Stop with that.
All right.
I'm the person I've always been. Nothing has changed. I'm just me.
Okay.
So no, I am not bigger. I'm never bigger than my people.
Go ahead.
Never.
Go ahead, Sean.
And that's why you come across
Miss Truss,
the way
that you do. You're from Chicago. That's where the Obamas are from, right?
Don't go down.
Well, they ain't really from. They're not really from here.
Okay.
Just like Brandon Johnson ain't from here.
Right,
and
yeah.
you can tell. Let me tell y'all something.
Right.
And Don can attest to this.
Go
There's
ahead.
a difference from people who are born here and people who come here.
Absolutely.
Just like there's a difference from people who were born and raised on the low end on the south side and people on the west side and other parts of the city.
Right.
There is a difference. There's an authenticity to us that you don't get from other people.
Okay, watch this. I got to, Miss Truss, I got a test. Watch this. How did you like your pork chops at Gladys?
True, fried and grits and gravy and onions.
Absolutely. And if you win it,
and the grease got to be running down your arm while you eat.
if the grease ain't running down your arm while you eating the pork chop,
You're at the wrong spot.
You at the wrong spot.
You're at the wrong spot.
That's Gladys, 44.
Grease got to be rolling down your arm.
That's
Yes,
Gladys.
sir.
Gladys was at 44th in Indiana.
44th in Indiana, that's right.
And guess what? And on Monday nights, what was the spot on 17th in Michigan? It was the Cotton Club.
The Cotton Club.
And guess who was the
You know
same?
what? I wasn't a fan of the Cotton Club. I like Sick Rick.
No, it was bougie. Rick's was on Wednesday night, ladies' night. Okay.
Ladies' night, Wednesday night.
Okay.
That's right.
The singer on Monday nights at the Cotton Club was a guy named Robert Kelly.
Well,
Yeah, he was from out of B. Wells Projects. He lived on the second floor. Right off of King Drive. 3714.
And he used to get now laters every Tuesday.
You know who Robert Kelly was?
Yeah, sure.
Well, thank you, Miss Truss, for joining us. We appreciate you so much. We're going to have you back. We're going to continue to follow what's happening with Kamala Harris.
Chameleon. There you go.
That's the right name, Chameleon Harris, right? I'm sorry. Listen, I want to thank you. I want to tell you so much how we appreciate you. Shout out to the Wildcats at Wendell Phillips High School. Miss Curry, remember Miss Curry now?
Ernestine Curry.
Yeah, Ernestine
yes,
Curry. That was my mama's friend. Thank you so much. Chuck Frazier. Remember Chuck Frazier? Chuck Frazier was the basketball coach.
Frazier,
and
yes.
Mr. Hanson. I went to Douglas Elementary School. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Hanson.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much for joining us. Thank you very much, ma'am. Hey, look, I want you to go follow her, follow what she's doing. She's doing great work. D'Amica, thank you.
Follow her on Twitter.
Follow her on Twitter, CATATRUSS.
Yep.
She is the voice in Chicago right now. She's a voice against the system. And I think that the people who listen to this show should always be interested in following the voice against the system. If you are riding with the system, riding with the dialogue, riding with the conversation, engaging in weapons of mass destruction, don't follow us. You turn this shit off right now. If you engaging in weapons of mass destruction, if you sitting around with a bunch of ignorant ass people, black or white, then you need to start watching the Don Miller Show on YouTube. Don't listen to me. I encourage you to get the hell away from me. You need to stop using the F word. We ain't gonna use the F word on the show. We're gonna use shit, damn, and shit. But we ain't gonna use the F word.
I gotta use fudge.
D'Amica, go ahead. Wrap us up, D'Amica. Take us home.
I don't have any wrap-ups for y'all.
Yes, you do.
Y'all did the most tonight.
He did the most. You invite this Puerto Rican, this damn Puerto Rican, this Puerto Rican. You think I did the most, or did the Puerto Rican do the most?
Uncensored.
You know she's saved.
You give me a drink. That's a wrap.
You know she's saved.
Yes, she is.
Would you apologize?
She said
No,
for all of us.
I don't need.
You need to apologize.
No,
let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Apologize to anybody.
I don't need no fake conversation.
I hope he's driving. You drive this dog right here. He gonna drown in somebody's pool tomorrow.
I'm on the Uber.
Are you Uber? No, listen again. Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you so much. We'll be back next Thursday. Follow D'Amica at
D'Amica Page. On all platforms. It's just like that.
Spell your name because you ain't got common name.
DEMICA.
Okay, how can they follow
That
you?
Lil Sean on air, LILSHAWN on air on social.
And he ain't gonna be drunk if you text him or follow him, bro. He drunk right now.
Yeah.
I told him not drink that cheap ass apple bar.
But I've been up since 4 a.m, bro.
What's that? Oh, you've been up because you doing another job.
I'm doing pools
Listen,
now,
follow
man.
the Don Miller Show on all platforms. How can they follow you, Podcast Doctor?
At Podcast Doctor.
Listen, thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you. I know this is listen, I tell you what I'm going to do that I hadn't done before. We need some money, y'all. Can y'all help us out? I'm going to tell you this real quick on the way out. I wasn't going to do this.
Are we actually still streaming?
Yeah, we are.
No, we stream it. They just blocked the signal. If we get off the air,
listen, what he said in the beginning, the government
cut us off.
Government.
We're still
Government.
How much time we got still on?
It's 9:03.
How many we
When
got?
the theme music
9
come
minutes?
on.
Hey, wait. Hey,
We got 9 minutes.
I said it's 9:03.
Don, watch out. He's going to charge you for another hour if you go past 9:05.
Oh, I was going to tell people how they can bless us. But I don't know how this works.
I can put your Cash App up there if you want.
Hey, you got the Cash App?
I do.
Put the Cash App up there, man, because I
Lil
hate
Sean
to
on
do this,
there.
man, but we really want to come back next week. All we need is $37.52.
That's it.
Okay, a piece.
That's it.
$37.52. That'll be D'Amica's gas money from Leesburg, Sean's gas money from Puerto Rico town, and my gas. No, I don't need no gas money. I take the bus. I'm gonna take the bus over there. I got a Lynx
You
card.
got the Mercedes coming over.
I got a Buick. Stop it right now. I got a Buick.
that
But
Buick-
hey, Crocker,
that Buick
thank
is
you.
deep.
Hey, Robbie, thank
love
you.
the Buick.
Hey, Sam, thank you so much. Joe Giovanni, thank you so much. Brothers in Arms Barbecue, follow them on all platforms. Thank you so much. Glenn Grady in Vegas Black Car, thank you so much. Mamie Grady in Chicago, Miss Carter Trust from the Hilliard Homes on 21st and State Street in Chicago. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of our friends in the beautiful Panhandle. Thank you,
Yeah, we got to go out there, man.
Patty
we
in the
got to do a
Panhandle.
show
Thank you,
live out
Katie,
there,
man.
Phil.
Unless you're going to rent a van. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks to people at Calvary Assembly. Calvary Assembly Church, where D'Amica Page is a wonderful member of the praise team. Thank you for my pastor, Pastor Sharon Riley, Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson family, and all the hater black people and white people who think we should not be doing this. Thank you so much, everybody.
I appreciate you.
You scared? Get around.